commandments, right? More than 10. Now, you don't have to have a specified number as long as it just go around, your garment. But you asked what the men are supposed to do, right? The men, we're supposed to go out and teach the nation. Give me this real quick.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 8 and verse number 4.
Bring it out.
Unto you, O men, I call,
Right.
and my voice is to the sons of man.
Right, so when it comes to the men, the Lord, he speaks to the men directly so that we could get the nation in order, right? So that because you got to understand, it's a natural order. You know how they got, let's say, for example, the food chain, right? At the bottom, you got the bottom of the food chain, you got the top of the food chain, right? Us being at the top of the food chain, then you got like a little fish at the bottom of the food chain, right? It's the same way. The Lord, he deals with order, right? So the men, they're basically at the top of the command. That's why you say, you got sayings like, the men wears the pants in the house. And this isn't, how they say, you men, this and that, misogyny, this and that. It's not to do that, but that's just how it was set up, because the men, they're supposed to be the providers, the protectors, and things of that sort, right? Check this out.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11, verse number 3.
Bring it out.
But I would have you know.
So this is one of our forefathers, right? Because the Bible says the things that's written in is written for our learning. So it's written so that the later generations, so that we can understand what's going on, right? So he's saying, this is our forefather Paul, right? He was from the tribe of Benjamin, which would be the so-called Jamaican nowadays, right? Now check this out. Read that again.
But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
Right. So on top of us, our boss, because let's say we got a job, right? We work in a warehouse, and you got that entry level position, and then on top of you got your supervisor. On top of him, that's the manager, right? On top of him, that's his boss. On top of him, you keep going up, you might reach the CEO, right? But we're at a lower level. The CEO in this case being the Most High God, right? Then right under him is Christ. Then under Christ is the man, then the woman, then the child. It's like how the family structure works. See how, does it make sense? All praises. That's what's up. Keep going.
And the head of the woman is the man.
Right.
And the head of Christ is God.
Right. So that's just the order. That's how things are set up. So the purpose of that is, the men, we're called to set the nation in order. Right. That's why you see us out here, right? And it's not a whole bunch of, for instance, right, women and children up here teaching, because the Lord said that this is the man's job to go out and teach the people in the elements and the heat and cold and things of that sort. See what I'm saying? So does it make sense, everything we brought out so far? You think you can make that adjustment? Dresses?
Listen, I'm not going to sit up here and tell the story.
Okay.
I'll think about it.
Well, check this out, right? You got the flyer, right? It got it got everything we went over. In a summary to sum it up, it got everything we got on there. It got the woman. Like I said, just because you wear a dress don't mean you got to look like you come straight from the Holocaust, Great Depression. But you can have your own spin and twist. You can have all your jewelry, your bags, your sandals, this and that. Right? You just got to be a little modest with it. All praise to the Most High. Yeah, beautiful, women and things of that sort. We get down. We get down. Give me the book of Jeremiah chapter 51 and 19. Bring it out.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 17 and verse 30.
Bring it out.
At the times of this ignorance, God winked at it.
So the Most High, since you didn't know any better, obviously we didn't know any better. The word ignorant means to not know any better. So at this time of ignorance, the Most High, he's kind of looking down like, you ain't know no better. I'm going to forgive you for all those things you did, right? There's some commandments that we ain't even got time to go over because there's so many, but the Lord said, don't even worry about them. They're not hard, but as long as you make an attempt, look, I'm going to forgive you for everything you did in your past. Just look forward, try to make your best attempt to do, moving forward, and the Most High, he going to take care of you. That's all, that's all there is to it, right?
Winked at it. But now commandeth all men everywhere to repent.
And now commandeth all Israelites everywhere, whether you're a man, woman, or child, we got one duty, and that's to serve the Most High God, right? But first that starts with repentance, which means forsaking the things that we used to do, right? The sins, like we got sins on us, right, that we used to do. Some of us, was adulterers, right? Some of us was fornicators. Some of us did some crazy stuff. I ain't gonna say it on camera. You know what I'm saying? But some of us did some things that we may think is unforgivable, but the Most High said, look, I ain't even worried about that. Just do what you can from now on. You see what I'm saying? Give me the what I call it? Yeah. 51 and 19.
This is the book of Jeremiah, 51 and 19.
Bring it out.
The portion of Jacob is not like them.
So like we've been saying, you know, we're not like the other nations, right? You get a white man, you know, and I'm gonna kind of say it into the mic. You get a white man, you get an Indian, you get all these other nations, right? They're different than us, and that's
right.
just a given, just from looking at them, right? Their spirit is not like ours. They
That's
don't
right.
carry themselves the same way. They're not like us,
That's right.
It's not,
And it's for you too, brother, right?
the portion of Jacob is not like them.
Right.
For he is the former of all things,
And when it says Jacob, that means Israel as well. So it's talking about us as a whole too.
That's right.
and Israel is the rod of his inheritance.
Right.
The Lord of hosts is his name.
Right. So we're not like them, right? So like I said, it's an adjustment, but definitely think on it because, you know, at the end of the day, that's your life. You know, these commandments, they are wisdom. This what keeps us close to the Most High, right? You got time for one more? She on the phone.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Give me Exodus chapter 20. And you got any questions so far, brother? All praises.
All praises.
Give me the book of Exodus chapter 20 and verse 8. You got any questions so far, King? I know you just came up, but you got any questions? Or you just want to hear us out real quick?
I just want to know, all the scriptures, whether it's the Bible, I mean, I don't know if I should be on your subject. I don't know
Oh, maybe you gotta go across.
if I should be on your subject or, because I heard you talking about the other people breaking the other, you know that, which is true. But all the scriptures, they were written, none of our ancestors.
You said what, King?
None of our ancestors sat down and participated in the writing of this scripture that we're reading today. We know that, right?
You said none of our ancestors wrote it?
Yeah. None of our ancestors sat down at the when they wrote this Bible and the
Now, it wasn't, I put it like this. The whole Bible isn't, in its entirety was not written all at the same time. You know, it's, yeah, the word Bible just means a collection of books,
Yes, indeed.
right? So they was put together when they were translated,
Yes,
right? It took I tend to forget, you know, as a whole, the number in totality, but according to history, it was a certain group of elected men who was skilled in things like foreign language, not foreign language, but translated from Greek, Hebrew, and things of that sort, who translated the Bible to Greek, and then later down the line, it got translated to English.
That's what I'm saying. None of our ancestors participated in that writing of this Bible here. That's
Oh, yeah.
fact, right?
No, they did.
No, they did. Okay. They didn't. We know when they wrote it.
Well, I'll say this. I'm gonna make this point. I'm gonna get back to it, and then I'm gonna get back to
I'm
you.
gonna finish and then I'll let you go.
Okay.
But then, what I can say, some of the stories that you see in the Bible here,
Uh huh.
they were copies. They are just little copies of what has already passed in the ancient Africa before even the Egyptian and everybody else.
Now I got a question.
Right? They just copy from different places.
I got a question.
And then they wrote it.
I feel you. Now, what time period would you say they were written?
The period I'm talking about, because this Bible has been up here probably 2,000 years ago, this Bible. But I'm talking about the period I'm talking about before even the first dynasty of African, which is correspond to what? All the century that we have, which goes backward when we start from before, I can say even 6,000 or 10,000 before even the existence of what man is as today. Now, not to forget about before then, some of the Africans had already left Africa. They have populated the entire continent. We know that that's a fact.
Now I got a question.
Yeah, so
So, you speak on Africa, right? What was Africa called before it was called Africa?
before we go Africa, there were many names. It was called India, Libya, Libos, Egypt, Ethiopia, all different names.
Now those are different countries within Africa, but primarily,
No, not the country. I'm talking about
check this out. Hold on, listen to me. Now, primarily, a lot of times when you read about Africa in the Bible, it's referred to as the land of Canaan, right? So a lot of you ever heard of the land of Canaan?
Canaan.
Yeah, Canaan.
Right?
Yeah, right. So a lot of times the stories or the events, I'll say, that take place in the Bible were in the land of Canaan, right? So you can't sit here and say, you know, a lot of these things were copied when they were taking place in that land.
The location you call it Canaan is just a part of Africa. There's no such thing like Middle East.
No.
So those you talk about Phoenician, you talk about Canaanian, all those all are black Africans. Just one continent. Just the same people.
Give me the book definition of ham in the dictionary.
But
Come.
all I want to know is just, I want just to clarify to say, some of the stuff that we read here, we know. None of our ancestors. This book is recent. Before what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it was written. So are you now? Are you trying to say that the things is just because they're written doesn't mean that they were true? Is that your argument?
Some of the stories, I mean, you see the scripture that we see here, they are good because it tells stories that help us people in the right path. Some of them are allegories, stories that never happened.
What's your nationality, King?
I'm an African.
What country you from?
Central Africa, Congo.
All right. So you said Central Africa. So did you have any family that came over, or do you have? Well, I'm gonna try the spirit by the spirit. Can you get the? Do you relate to slavery? Do you have any relation to that?
The way I can see that relate to slavery, because what they did to slavery, what they did not was colonization, is the same thing. They mistreat us just like they did the slavery, but it's time they choose to stay in the country doing it. And then they took some people together and bring them here, they mistreat them. So slavery, colonization, yes, I can relate to that.
But
Okay.
it wasn't the same slavery, though.
The slavery,
Well, check this out. Check this out.
okay.
Hold on. Check this out.
This is the Zonovan Bible Dictionary. Ham.
Slop. I ain't mean to cut you off. But when you talk about again Africa, it goes by many different names in the Bible, right? So you know the story of Noah. You know this Noah's Ark, sister. You know the story of Noah's Ark, and he had sons, right? Ham, Shem, and Japheth, right? So our descendants from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and Israel will come from the bloodline of Shem, right? The Africans that sold the Israelites into slavery, into the transatlantic slave trade, would come from the descendants of Ham. They would be the Hamites, aka the modern day African, right? Let's say Morocco, Sudan, Africans from those countries, right? Now, of course, you have Israelites still residing in Africa, like Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, things of that sort. The Ivory Coast, the West Coast of Africa. Some of them, they never left. Some of them went back, right? But by and large, the Africans that are in that land sold Israelites into slavery. So and I'm not saying that this is the point that you're making, but when you hear that blacks sold blacks into slavery, that's a false statement, right? Hamites sold Israelites into slavery, right? To the Edomites. You see what I'm saying? So it was a conspiracy against us to sell us into slavery, right? By another dark-skinned nation that resided in that land. Let's get that.
Ham, the youngest son of Noah,
One of his 3 sons,
born about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races.
Right, so he started the he didn't start the dark races, but when it comes to those African countries residing in Africa, yes, they descend from Ham, right? That's why they're dark skinned and share similar characteristics to the Israelites, right?
Not the Negro.
Not the Negroes, right? So when you have Negroes, which was your modern day black, that's what Negro means, is black. Your modern day black African American Israelite, right? And then it says not the Negroes, so we're not the same as them. I was just making that connection, just in case there was any confusion on that, right?
But the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites.
Right. So these would be all African countries. Does that make sense, brother?
The one in the Middle East, even the Arabic land where you see the Muslim living, that was a black land.
Yep. I agree. All praise. But I'm gonna get back to the
One more question before I go to it.
last one.
Now you're talking about the Noah story.
Right.
Would you want to tell me that the beginning of the earth started from Noah's children?
No.
Yeah, so
No, that's not.
I always have problem why.
No, that's not a claim that I was making.
Some people always think that after the flood, which is just an allegory. And again, the flood didn't happen.
No, that was real.
Now, all of that be just finish my point. If
Okay.
Read
It's
the story
okay,
in
it's
the
okay.
Bible. Take out the dimension of the boat, the same boat. You'll be laughing. It's a child story.
So check this out.
To understand how
Check this
the
out.
word was
If you have
wrong.
men that are contractors, right?
Very measurement.
Okay, brother. You got men that are contractors, right? So you got men, they sign up, right, to build skyscrapers. You got men that sign up to build airplanes. Really, really big things that carry people from one land to another. You got men that built the cruise ships, right? So it's not an impossible thing for a man to build an ark.
Look, the ark that they built is in the Bible written there, the Quran. You cannot house all the animals on earth, including the plants.
Now check this out. Check this out.
That's the point. Yeah.
Check this out. Why do you say that?
Oh, look at the dimension. Read it. Read the
Now check this
dimension
out. Who was to say, hold on. How long, no, I feel you, I'm not, I'm just making my point clear. So, how long ago did that story take place?
Okay, this allegory.
No, you don't have to give a long explanation. I'm just saying,
Yeah, I'm going.
rough estimate. How long ago do you think?
Chronology of that, it's recent, that chronology.
Okay, well, hold on. Okay, I feel you. Check this out. So that story was written a very long time ago, thousands of years ago. That event took place thousands of years ago. So over time, what do they say? Hold on, brother. You can't interrupt me. This is a convo, right? So you have animals that adapt and change to their environment, correct? You got one species of frog, right? Out of that one species of frog, you might have frogs that adapt and change to the rainforest. You got frogs that adapt and change to the suburbs. You got frogs that adapt and change to their environment. So from one frog could come many different species of frogs.
That's right.
It's called a subspecies. You got a frog that could change it, adapt to a subspecies of frog, right? To where now they get a poisonous film, or now they could change colors and run from their predators, right? You got horses, they can adapt and change into a different coat, right? Through mixing and breeding, natural selection and selective breeding.
That's right.
This is a thing found in nature and textbooks. I'm not finished. You got to let me talk, right? And they naturally adapt to their environment. You got deers and roebucks that naturally adapt to their environment. You got some deer, they can't live in the Sahara. Some deer, they can't live in Africa. Some deer, they might live in the country of Georgia. See what I'm saying? You got some gazelles, they can't live in certain parts of the Sahara. You got certain gazelles, they can't live in certain parts of Canada, right? So you have animals, they adapt and change, and like the Bible said, be fruitful and multiply as all the animals did, and they adapt and change over a course of time to their environment. So yes, I will say your point does have a lot of logic to it, to a point where, okay, that's a lot of animals, how do they all fit on the boat? However, they adapt, change, and then they breed and grow and populate. So that was the last question I said I was going to answer. I'm going to get back to the point. You have a beautiful day, King. All praise to the Most High. Give me the book of Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 4.
I'm not going against this Bible here. I told you the story.
Do you believe in the Bible?
I believe in the story there, the ape-shaped people. That's what this Bible is written. This Bible is not something that were written like by God, like people were think. It's even 2,000 years ago.
So you don't believe in the Bible?
The narrative.
Well, brother, I feel you. I understand you. If you don't believe, no. It's none of that. Look, it's none of that. It's all love. Yeah, I get your viewpoint. But once I prove my point, I like to be done with the convo. You see what I'm saying? But all praises.
I want to ask you because you just mentioned one thing very important that I asked.
Yeah.
You were talking about one frog adapting to this. We know there's many species.
Well, yeah, that was just one example.
I know, but what I was telling you, all the species were put in the boat.
I know, brother.
The Bible doesn't say only one species of snake or goat or what.
I know, it was two of every clean and unclean. Hold on, brother, just so that they can breed and create more and be fruitful. That was the whole point of that, right?
Yeah, but if you look at the shape of the boat, the shape of the boat that tell you, if you do the calculations, even a child will tell you no. That's
all right, King.
Do you believe?
It's all right, King. It's all right.
No, let me talk to you.
All praise.
All praise.
It's all right. So
What's the question?
let's get. So y'all got any questions so far? Yeah, it was a lot that kind of just happened, but like I said, the whole point of that convo was to show.
Questions, right here.
Oh, you got any questions so far, King?
I got a few questions for y'all boys.
All right, what's up?
That was the first premise.
You said what?
First premise.
Okay.
As far as, I want to know where y'all stand as far as salvation for everyone.
We believe that salvation is only for Israel,
Wake him up, Hot.
and that's written.
want to speak on it.
Okay.
I want to speak to that, if y'all don't mind, respectfully.
No, yeah.
I want to be
Now
like,
I will say, if somebody comes up, we edifying everybody out here.
Right.
So forgive me if I kind of reach out to the everybody in the back. But go ahead.
now, I don't believe that.
Now why you say that?
I'll tell you why. Because the scriptures, even in Isaiah and other precepts, let you know that salvation is to the man who keeps his commandments. You know what I'm saying?
Now I got a question. I don't mean to interject, but you got to understand, who was the commandments given to?
Break them up.
And who was after he gave the commandments, what did he say to do with the commandments?
You gotta answer my question.
He gave it to Israel.
Right.
And then after that, what did he tell Israel to do with those commandments?
Keep them.
And to what? Spread, be a light unto the world. Spread it unto the world.
Wake
now,
'em
when
up,
he says, now when he says be a light unto the world, give me Deuteronomy.
Wake them
What
up.
precept is that? Where it talks about this is your wisdom in the sight of the
But
nations.
before I get there, I want to go on the premise. I want to get the premise.
Yeah, we get the premise right now. I got to get the precept to establish the premise, because I don't speak out of my own mouth. We speak thus saith the Lord up here, right? Deuteronomy chapter, that was 20. We're gonna get it. It's a lot. This is your wisdom in the sight of the nation. Basically, the reason why the Lord said to be a light into the world, the light. Give me before you get that, give me Proverbs 6:23. I'm gonna show you what a light is.
424.
4:25. The water king. Keeping the commandments, that's being the light. I'm gonna show you this. You got to go precept upon precept to get the understanding. I'm sure you know, right? Give me Proverbs chapter 6:23 first. Hold that. Give me Proverbs 6:23. Yeah. Hold on. Give me Proverbs 6:23.
After you're done, read Psalm 119, 5.
Okay, I got you. 6:23. Because this is going to establish the foundation of what it means to be the light.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 6 and verse 23.
Bring it out.
For the commandment is a lamp.
Now the commandment is a lamp. Now the purpose of a lamp is to provide light in the darkness, right? When you in the dark and you kind of, you in your house. Hold on, brother. Now 6:23. My bad. Right, when you in your house, when it's dark, you got to kind of turn on that lamp so you can see, right?
For the commandment is a lamp,
Right.
and the law is light,
Right.
and reproof of instruction are the way of life.
So the reason why he says be a light, like for example, be a light unto the Gentiles, right? Or let your light shine. He's basically saying keep the commandments, because that's how you show your wisdom in the sight of the nations, right? If I was to kill my brother, which I, Lord willing, would never do, but if I was to kill my brother, that wouldn't be wise. And now you got the nations looking at us like we're crazy, we act out. That's how they look at us, because that's what we do. The nations look at us like we have no sense, right? They look at us like we're destructive. They call our black women violent, right? When not all our black women are like that, right? These sisters, they listen to the word all day, So, that's being a light, right? You're showing that in front of these nations, because keeping the commandments, that's our wisdom, right? It's a lot. Right, you're showing these nations that, hey, we know not to act like a fool because we follow the Most High's commandments. So that's all that's saying when it talks about being a light. Does that make sense so far?
Go ahead, read 119.
Let's get it. You got the precept? Come on, bring it out.
This is the book of Deuteronomy.
Got this piece up first. Come on, hold on.
No, this is the precept I was talking about, brother.
What you just read?
Proverbs 6:23. And then I'm going to get...
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 6.
and then we're going to get your precept.
Keep therefore and do them,
Right?
for this is your wisdom.
Right, these commandments are our wisdom, right? Just like when a woman's in a grocery store and she tells her kids not to act out, and they start throwing a tantrum and everybody see it, right? That's not, everybody kind of looking at, dang, she might be a bad mom. See what I'm saying? Right? So it's the same thing applies. We got to represent the Most High God.
And your understanding
Right?
in the sight of nations,
Right?
which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
Hey, sisters, y'all got 1 minute for the Lord? Can I show y'all something real quick? It's going to take 1 minute, I promise. All right, all praise. Right, y'all come in real quick. Y'all can come in. Right, I'm going to get right back to you, brother. Right, give me the book of Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 4. Y'all believe in the Bible? Y'all believe in God? All praises. That's what's up. Now, a lot of people are age, they don't believe in God no more. Y'all know half the population in America don't believe in God? Does that make sense? I want to show you something. I promise I'm going to make this short. I know y'all enjoying y'all Saturday or whatever. Right, let's get this.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse number 4.
Bring it out.
And thou, even thyself.
So y'all believe in the book of Moses, right? Y'all ever heard of the story of Moses? Right? What happened in the story of Moses? I don't want to put you on the spot, but like you kind of say, yeah. All right, well, in the book of Moses, right, he split the Red Sea, and that's when the Israelites passed on through. Y'all ever heard of the Israelites? I know I'm coming with 1,000 questions, but I'm going to make it make sense. It's going to connect. So the Israelites, they're God's chosen people, right? And they got certain characteristics of who they are to show who they are today, right? Now, I'm going to read this, and y'all tell me who this sounds like, all right? Read that again.
And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thy heritage.
Right, so this group of people, they discontinue from their heritage. Your heritage being your culture, where you came from, your family bloodline, you know, your family tree, your ancestry, right? They forgot all that, and now they're being called things like spics, niggas, Mexicans, Latinos, Native Americans, black people, African American, right? That's us, correct? Right, all praises. Y'all check that flyer out, okay? We got a YouTube channel, right? So we discontinue from our heritage, right? This is talking about us, right? When you read the Bible, you got to read it in the context of this is me. All right, it's going to start making a lot of sense. All right, check this out.
Shall discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee.
Right.
And I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
So when we was in our homeland, which is the land of Israel, right, the Lord said that, you know, or I'll say this. We didn't know what America was when we was in our own land, right? The only time we knew America was when we came to America, right? Let's get the book of Deuteronomy. I know I'm going to make it short, right? Deuteronomy 28 and verse 1. So that was just to show you that we discontinue from our heritage. Like, let's say iPhone, right? Everybody got an iPhone up here, I'm sure, right? So if they say, look, this iPhone is going to be the last generation we ever made, right? And y'all got that most updated iPhone 14, right? So let's say 30 years down the line, y'all all got kids, right? And they need a phone. And the iPhone was discontinued when y'all was a kid. Are they gonna know what an iPhone is? No, they're not gonna know what an iPhone is. It was discontinued, right? So just like our heritage, right? Our heritage got discontinued to where we don't know who we are anymore, right? Because all those years ago, the Lord said that I was gonna, you know, make y'all forget who y'all were because y'all ain't want to listen to me. Does that make sense so far? Is it confusing at all? All right, all praises. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 1. No, 7 and 6. Give me 7 and 6, my bad. Now I gotta show y'all something. You know, we more than just what they tell us we are.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse number 6.
Right,
Bring it out.
I'm gonna break it down. I know the Bible, it might be kind of hard to read sometimes. It took me years to get through Genesis. That's the first book. I couldn't even get past that. Now check this out. You got to read it in the context of this is talking about me and my people, right?
For thou art an holy people.
So it's saying the word holy. Does any of y'all know what holy mean? You got all the answers. I know. You say what? You said pure? That's a good answer. I ain't gonna lie. That's a good answer. That's a great answer. Now, I'm gonna kind of bring the cat out the bag. The word holy, that just means set apart, right? So think of it in the context of, okay, this just means set apart, right? Check this out. Read that again.
For thou art an holy people.
Right. So we are set apart people. Because you got to think, who dresses like us? Can every nation wear locks? Can every nation grow locks out their head? No. Can every nation look, cook like us, dance like us, rap like us, freestyle like us, talk like us? Every nation can't be like us. Shalom, King. Not every nation don't even got melanin like us. You see what I'm saying? Every nation don't got black girl magic. You see what I'm saying? Every nation can't do the things we do, right? Keep going. So the Lord's saying that we separate. Does that make sense so far? All praise. Right, keep going.
For thou art a holy people. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Right.
The Lord thy God has chosen thee
To be a
a special people unto himself.
Right, so the Lord said, I'm going to choose y'all to be a special people unto myself. When I say y'all, that consists of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, because we all the same people, whether y'all knew that or not, right? Blacks and Hispanics, we go through the same thing. We all live in, they call it the barrios. We all live in the hood, right? We all live in the ghetto. Not all of us, but, as a majority, hey, we're the same as them, right? Native Americans, what they doing? They living on reservations. They're ghetto, right? They got to bathe out of shampoo bottles. You see what I'm saying? We getting done the same way, right? But when you go back in time and read, you're going to see that they're the same people as us, right? Even though their skin color, it varies. It's a little lighter. That's because over the years, they was, breeding with other people. But we still the same people. Damn. Right? Keep going.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Right? So we're above all people. So I was just setting the bar. We above all people, right? Keep that in mind. We above all people. Now go to the book of verse 28, 16. Yeah, 28 and 16. So far you learned that we discontinue from our heritage, right? We above all people. So now we got to understand why we discontinued our heritage, all right? Check this out.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse number 16.
Bring it out.
Start at verse, yeah, you good. 15.
15. Verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
Meaning this is going to happen, right? Y'all know what a prophecy is? A prophecy, what's a prophecy? I saw you nod your head first. Okay, hey, that's a perfect answer. Like she said, a prophecy is something that's foretold in the past that's going to happen in the future down the line, all right? So this is a prophecy. This is something that was told years ago that we can read in the Bible and that we can see still happening on us to this very day. Bring that out. And this is, my bad, this is how we know who we are according to the Bible. This is how we could prove that we're the people of the Bible.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So God is saying, if y'all don't keep my commandments, what's going to happen to us?
To observe to do all his commandments,
right,
and his statutes,
right,
which I command thee this day.
So if y'all Negro, not y'all, but I'm not talking about y'all. Well, I'm talking about y'all, but not like that. But he's saying, if you Israelites, my bad, if you Israelites don't keep the commandments, right, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to put a curse upon y'all as a nation. Now, answer truthfully. Every single one of y'all, do y'all believe we're cursed? Yes? Yes? It's okay to say no. You say no? If you don't believe it, it's okay. You don't think so? Oh, okay, that's cool. So why would you say yes in the middle? Yeah. The things we go through, right? Okay, why you say yes? Yeah, like why would you say we're under the curses? Or what would you think? Okay. Now the Bible is this whole chapter is gonna go into why, right? I'm almost done, I promise. I don't want y'all getting antsy, checking the phones. You see what I'm saying? But let's read verse 16. I'm gonna show y'all why, or not why, but the curses that's put upon us. He already told us why we curse is because we didn't keep the commandments. But this is the curses that we're under, right? Watch this.
Verse number 16.
Right.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Now, would y'all say we cursed in the city? Check out this list. This is 16 so-called blacks and Hispanics that have been shot. And these are cases we know about. Y'all know about Tamir Rice, Emmett Till. These are all of our people that's been shot by police brutality. And these are just in recent years, and this ain't even all of them. Y'all ever heard of Sandra Bland? All right. If you haven't heard of Sandra Bland, she was actually a sister. She actually on this list, right? She was a sister, and it was a traffic stop. They stopped her at a traffic stop. The police pulled her all over, I think, like a stop sign, right? The police pulled her over, dragged her out of her car. Mind you, she was in a dress. The police dragged her out of her car, and they said that they were afraid of her. She was resisting, but she was in a dress. You can't really resist in a dress. You see what I'm saying? Right? They slammed her to the ground and put her in jail, and she killed herself in jail. And she was innocent, right? This is a curse that's on our people. We're cursed in the city. First fired, last hired, right? We get evicted out of our places. Our parents struggle to make ends meet. These are things that we go through in the city. Not necessarily got to be Atlanta, but anywhere, modern day where we live. You see what I'm saying? So we're cursed in the city, right? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? Keep going.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
And we was cursed in the field, and y'all know what that was. That was slavery. Right. You see what I'm saying? What's this right here? Right? This is a yoke of iron. Y'all ever put a leash around a dog? Right? Y'all say, get over here. The dog, he kind of walking off. Y'all saying, kind of snatching the dog back, right? It was a yoke of iron to where they put it on our necks. So anywhere we turn, if we do the opposite of what they wanted us to do, our neck would snap. That happened to us in slavery. They're not going to teach you this in school because they didn't teach me in school, right? Right? He got whipped. You know, this happened to our sisters too, right? He got whipped. Let's see. He burned to death in front of a bunch of white people. They was laughing at that. That's where you get picnic from. Pick a nigger. You know, they torture them and they have a little picnic. Now this is a slave ship, right? Slave ship. They divided the slave ship where you got the men, the children, and the women. So imagine, and you know, people getting seasick, women on their cycle on top of each other, men, they getting seasick on top of each other using the bathroom, right? So these are just things, different examples of the things we went through, right? Of different curses. Jump down to verse 54. I want to show y'all this. It's more than just slavery, right? It's a lot of things we went through, right? Check this out.
Verse 54.
Right.
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate,
Right.
his eyes shall be evil toward his brother.
What y'all think that mean? I ain't gonna break it down just here. What y'all think it mean? You said what? You said gangs? You're right.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it's going into. It's going into gang violence. Y'all ever watch? I know y'all watched the Boondocks once. Y'all know that episode with the nigga moment when the grandpa he had a moment when that man hit his car. No. All right. Well, basically, if let's say you got two men, right, and we walking on the sidewalk. This is something that actually happens amongst us. Me and him walking on the sidewalk, and we kind of walk past each other, and we just looking at each other, and we trying to see who gonna look back first. That's what you call a nigga moment. See what I'm saying? So, us as a nation, we do these things to where we just hate our brother. You might step on a sister's shoes, and she about ready to throw hands. See what I'm saying? She kind of know what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? Right? So these are things that they don't happen to the Asian man. They don't happen to white people. This is stuff that happens amongst us. Why? Because it's a curse. We hate our own people. Right? You got black on black. You got our people, they skin bleach. Right? Our men hate each other. Our women hate each other. You got men taking on the nastiest, most trailer trash white women. Right? When you got thousands of beautiful women. Right? Amongst your own people. See what I'm saying? Keep going.
His eyes should be evil toward his brother.
Right, so our eyes is evil towards each other.
And toward the wife of his bosom.
Right, we the leading statistic in domestic violence, right? The man putting the hands on the woman. I know y'all heard of Krishan Rock. She out of control, right? But that's what we do, right? That's a curse that's on us.
And toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
And we're known to what? The men is known to what? Y'all know. Hey, Eve like to say, hey, these men ain't, hey, deadbeat dads. The men, they leave the household, right? Now the woman, she kind of got the man on child support. Right. He not paying his child support. This nigga ain't shit, right? Now the kids know about it. Now the kids go up and hate their dad, right? It's a cycle. It's a generational thing, right? And I know because these curses are upon me too. Right. I grew up around this stuff. You see what I'm saying? Right? So we all grew up around, we can all attest to one of these curses because it's on us as a nation. Right. You see what I'm saying?
All y'all fathers in the house. Y'all?
You can be honest. No, mine isn't.
Right.
See, so
according to the Bible.
According to the Bible, that's a bit. It's a spiritual thing. Yeah. It's in the Bible. It's written that this is going to happen. Now, of course, in other races, it happens in other races. No lie, right? But us as a nation, it's majority. You see what I'm saying? I say about 8 times out of 10, you're gonna find in a black, it's a single parent household. That's right. Keep going. No. That's it on that. Give me a verse. Give me any verse. Give me verse 48.
48.
Y'all got some time? Y'all still got a little bit more time? Okay, cool. I gotta make sure, sister, they like to, they get a little antsy. I see them bring out that phone. It's almost a wrap. They saying, wrap that thing up.
Kind of like speed it up.
Yeah, kind of speed it up a little bit,
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies.
Oh, my bad. Start at verse 46.
All right, verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
So I got a question. Let's say y'all all go out to Waffle House, right? How do you know where Waffle House is? Because of the what? The sign, right? So same thing applies. How do you know where the Israelites? Because of you just said it, the curses act as a sign to show who we are. Right. Does that make sense? So I could identify him as an Israelite because not only, he got the look. Sometimes you can't always go by the look. You got Bob Marley. I believe his father was white.
Yeah, his
You
father
know,
white. Yeah.
I believe Frederick Douglass, his father was white. So I read about. I don't know if that's true, but I know now you got some people, they dark skinned, but they're not under the curses because they're not really Israelites. They just got dark skin. The East Indian, they're not Israelites. They're just dark skinned Indians. See what I'm saying? Right? But I can tell this brother is because he go through the curses just like me. Right? It's a sign to show who we are. Right?
Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign
Right.
and for a wonder.
It's gonna make you wonder, like, dang, why do we always go through this? Why couldn't George Floyd be of another race? Why is it always us? It's got us asking all these questions. See what I'm saying?
And upon thy seed forever.
And upon our seed. Now, when it says forever, it's just saying for a very long span of time in this context, right? Because he's going to tell us, that once we start keeping the commandments, we're going to remember ourselves. Give me the book of, hold that. Actually, don't hold that. I'm going to get it later. But the scriptures, they speak about us coming back to our homeland, our heritage, coming back to the commandments, and being basically reinstated to our former selves, which is the top nation in the earth. But right now, we're the bottom of the barrel because it's a punishment. So that we'll learn, look, we can't be doing the things that we do. Right? We can't be sinning and going off the way that we be doing. Right? We got to be better than that. You got our people in the world, they say we got to, retrain our brain and things of that sort. They're right, but we got to do it according to how the Most High did it. Right. Same way we went into captivity, we just got to do the opposite so we could come out. It's simple, right? Give me verse 68. Now, this is the big one. If you didn't believe before, right, this is the big one, right? Give me verse 68.
Verse 68.
Right.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So remember that first question I asked. Well, probably not the first question, but remember when I said, y'all believe in Moses? Did I say that? Right? And, Moses, he said, he was the one that was like, let my people go. Now, we were slaves in Egypt, right? This isn't our first slavery, right? We had 7 major captivities.
Right.
This is just the last one, right? According to the Bible, this is the last slavery we're going to be in, right? But the first one was in Egypt, right? Does any of y'all got a dollar bill on y'all? A $1 bill? I want to show y'all something. He got one. See? He got it like that.
Kind of got a little money.
Kind of got a little money in the pocket. Now check that out. What do y'all see on the back of the dollar bill? It's 2 pictures. Y'all see, what's the first picture I say? A pyramid, right? What's the second one? It's an eagle, right? Now pay close attention to that, right? Because that's a spiritual thing. So, like I said, our first captivity was Egypt, right? What's in ancient Egypt? It's a pyramid. Our last major captivity is in America. Now, the symbol of America is the eagle, the bald eagle. They ingrained it into our brains since we was in elementary school. It's the eagle. The eagle is everywhere. It might be somewhere around here, shit. But, the eagle would be our last captivity, but Egypt was our first. So the Bible says we're going to go into slavery again. Right, slavery just being symbolic of Egypt being symbolic of the first slavery, which is in Egypt. Right, now read that again. My bad.
Verse 68.
Right.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So we're gonna go into slavery again, right?
With ships.
But this time with what?
With ships.
How do we get to America? With ships, with slave ship, right?
By the way whereof I speak unto thee.
Right.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
So like I said, a prophecy is something that was foretold beforehand that's going to happen later down the line. So as you can see, this is one of the major prophecies that happened. We could tell it's in the Bible. The so-called Black and Native American and Hispanic is going to go into slavery, right? Via slave ship, right? And we was never going to see our homeland again. Y'all been to Israel before? No? I ain't been to Israel, right? That's our homeland. Right now you got the so-called Jewish, right? The fake Jews. They took over our land and now they claimed it as their own. And that's in the Bible. It talks about how they lie about that, right? Keep going.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
So we never saw our homeland.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
It was sold to who?
And there you shall be sold unto your enemies.
Is that making sense so far? We were sold to our enemies.
For bondmen
For slave man
and bondwoman.
and slave woman.
and no man shall buy you.
Right? And when it talks about no man shall buy you, we had Martin Luther King. He tried. He said he had a dream, right? You had, I wouldn't say Rosa Parks because she wasn't really trying. It kind of just happened to her, right? But you had people like Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and a plethora of others, Harriet Tubman. See what I'm saying? Strong female leaders, strong male leaders that tried to get us out of slavery. But what happened? We ended up segregated for a while. That was cool. We had a little taste or whatever, right? And then, now we infuse, and now we still at the bottom of the barrel. So are we really free? No. The Lord talks about, it's a difference between physical slavery and mental slavery. We could walk about the streets of America, but we don't really know who we are. We call ourselves black. We call ourselves a color. Now, let's say you got an Asian man standing right there, right? And for instance, right? And I say, hey, yellow man, what's our name? And, will he be offended by that? I called that man yellow. See what I'm saying? He would be offended if I called him yellow because he knows he's not a yellow man, right? He's an Asian. He might be Chinese, Korean, but he knows not to call him yellow. So how come we don't get offended when people call us black? You see what I'm saying? Right? That's a color, right? So that just goes to show that that's, one of the curses that's upon us, right? So I'm going to ask y'all again. I see the legs kind of going up, kind of getting kind of tired, right? Y'all got any more? Y'all want to listen to some more or y'all want to kind of call it a day? You say what? Y'all get it? It makes sense, right? All right, can I get one commandment? I'm going to give y'all like one commandment. She kind of breathes kind of heavy. What that mean? No, I'm playing. But I'm going to get y'all one commandment to kind of, set y'all off. Give me the book of Exodus. Give me the book of Leviticus. Give me Leviticus chapter 11 and verse 1. Now, with the commandments, I got to be honest, I got to keep it real with y'all, right? How many commandments y'all think it is? 10? Okay. See, she got all the answers. Like I said, you got all the answers, right? How many you think it is? 10? 10, 10, 10. Okay. Now, this might kind of blow y'all mind, right? But it's actually 613. Now, of course, you got the 10 commandments. That's true. That's very true. You got a chapter, Exodus chapter 20, it talks about the 10 commandments. But when you keep reading in the book of Exodus, the first 5 books are the books of the law, right? Remember that. I believe it's on that paper somewhere. But the first 5, it might not be. But the first 5 books, remember, the first 5 books are the books of the law. That's where you're going to find the laws, statutes, and commandments, right? It's 613 laws, right? Or 613 commandments in totality. Some of them don't apply to women. Some of them only apply to men. Now, some of them only apply to women. Some of them apply to the children. Some of them apply to, certain tribes. Because you got 12 tribes of Israel. We don't got the chart out here right now. But it's on the paper, that black part on the back, flip it over. Yeah, the 12 tribes. Whatever your father is, that's what you're from, right? So I'm from the tribe of Judah, right? So I'm an Israelite from the tribe of Judah, right? So y'all definitely check that part out. If we had to try, I would go into it, but we don't. But that's all right. But, getting back to the point, what was I saying? Oh yeah, 613 commandments. My bad. My memory is kind of bad. But like I said, you got the 613 commandments. Not all of them apply to you, right? But let's get 1 John chapter 5 and verse 3. Right? Because some of them, like I said, they don't all apply to you, number one. And number two, they're not hard commandments to do. Like, just by y'all standing here and listening, y'all keep a majority of the commandments, right? Check this out. And you're only going to learn them if you read about them. First 5 books of the Bible. Right?
This is the book of 1 John chapter 5 and verse 3. Right. For this is the love of God.
A lot of people say they love God, but you got to, love is a verb. If somebody's beating on you and say that they love you, do they really love you? No. Love is an action. You see what I'm saying? So this is the love of God. The love of God is an action. What is it?
That we keep his commandments.
That's how you say you love God. That's it. Right? Watch this.
And his commandments are not grievous.
Meaning his commandments, they ain't hard to do, right? So like I said, y'all just standing there and listening, y'all keep a majority of them. But I'm going to get one for y'all. Go back to Leviticus, right? Because you got to understand, there's 613. Now, you got this one chapter called Leviticus number 11, chapter 11, right? I don't know if y'all knew this, but there are certain things that y'all can and cannot eat. Y'all ever seen a mukbang? right? And they kind of got the octopus, and then I saw one they was eating a whole cat. So like, you know, do y'all think we could eat a cat? You see what I'm saying? They be eating turtles and things, you know, they be eating the whole, if it's a dead or alive, you know what I'm saying? Right? But the Lord said, no, we set apart. Remember that. We set apart. No, we holy. Holy means set apart. Right? So we can't do the things that everybody else do. Right? Now check this out. This whole chapter is going into things that we can and cannot eat. But I'm going to get one key one that I know that majority of us as a people, we eat. Read verse 1.
Verse 1? All right, this is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse number 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them.
Because Moses, he was giving us the commandments. That's why it says the Lord spake to Moses, because he gave it to us, right?
Speak unto the children of Israel.
Let's talk about me. Let's talk about him. Let's talk about all y'all, right? Y'all are Israelites, so y'all would be categorized as the children of Israel, right?
These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth.
Right, so these are the animals that you can eat. And then it gives kind of a list of what y'all can eat, right? So jump down to verse 7.
Verse number 7. And the swine.
Do y'all know what swine is? Okay, it's the pig, right? The swine is the pig. A fish? Right, the swine is the pig. Sway? I ain't never heard of that. What's the sway? Oh, okay. Well, in this instance, let's talk about the pig. Y'all like bacon? No? Okay. Cool. None of y'all like bacon? That's what's up. She kind of started laughing. Yeah, right? So, no bacon, right? And I'm going to tell y'all why. I'm going to get into why, right? But bacon, sausage, you just got to kind of check the ingredient list, right? Anything with, like I say, gelatin, if it don't say beef gelatin, then it's pork. Right? What's another meat? Chitlins, pig feet, all that. You know, cracklings, pepperoni. You know, there's obviously, you know, you got substitutes. You know, you got turkey. I heard they got beef, bacon, pepperoni, all that. Right? But definitely stay away from pork, and it's gonna go into why. Everything the Lord tells us to do, it's always a reason behind it. You're not just saying don't do this, don't do that for the hell of it. It's always a reason why. Right? Check this out.
Verse number 7. And the swine, though he divided a hoof.
Because when you read this chapter, it's talking about 2 requirements for a land animal, okay? So it got to divide the hoof, kind of like a cow, right? And it got to chew the cud, meaning it digests its food a certain kind of way, right?
And be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you.
So the pig is unclean. Think about this. What is the purpose of a pig? What does a pig do? Why do people raise pigs on farms? I ain't gonna ask that. That was a dumb question. All right, I'm gonna put it like this. Why? What is the purpose of a pig? What do pigs do? Just throw anything out there. What you know that a pig do? You say what? They roll in mud. Okay, that's a good one. What else? They eat grass. Pigs, they'll eat anything. That's one of their main problems. Now, if she said they roll around in mud, or y'all both said that, right? They both said they roll around in mud. So a lot of times you got kids, they got ringworms because they play in the dirt a lot, right? So a pig, when they roll around in mud, they get all types of parasites. And pigs, they don't sweat. The reason why we sweat when we work out and we sweat, you know, and it's salty and things of that sort, you know, when the sweat dry up, it's kind of salty, is because it's getting rid of the toxins that's in our body, right? So when a pig doesn't sweat, all those toxins stay within the body. And so that's why whenever you make any type of pork, you really ain't got to season it too heavily. Like ham, you ain't really got to season a ham. It's naturally salty because that's all those toxins and bacteria in the meat. And you don't find that amongst every type of meat. Beef don't got that. You know, you got certain animals, you know, you kind of touch it and they, you know, they fur, whatever you call it, you know, it's kind of moist, you know, because they're sweating. Pigs, they don't do that. Right? They roll around in mud. They eat whatever's in front of them. If they eat a cat, you're eating that cat. You see what I'm saying? Because they don't digest their food a certain kind of way. So now it's like whatever they eat, you're eating, right? If whatever disease thing they eat, they eat human. You see what I'm saying? So definitely stay away from the pig, right? Keep going.
Of their flesh.
And the next one is the last one. I'm going to let y'all go.
Of their flesh shall ye not eat. Right. And their carcass ye shall not touch.
And a carcass, that's like a dead animal. So don't even touch a dead pig, right? So don't eat the pig, don't touch a dead pig. They always got alternatives, all right?
They are unclean to you.
It's unclean to you. Do you want to eat something unclean? No, that's nasty, right? She's not the only one, right? Yeah, okay. I was making sure, right? You don't want to eat nothing that's, especially if the Lord said it. And this is the reason why we in slavery, because our people eat chitlins, and chitlins, that's the butthole. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what a chitlin is. That's why it stink when you cook it, right? The doodle noodles. You see what I'm saying? So, so you don't want to, you don't want to eat that because it's bad for not only for your intestines. That junk mess up your stomach, right? But it also gives you things like that's why parents and grandparents, they got gout, diabetes, high blood pressure. One of a family, everybody got that one family member that got diabetes or high blood pressure, right? Gout, all these types of diseases, it stem from pork. A lot of times they did an autopsy when somebody died, they found pinworms because you get worms when you eat pork, regardless of how clean, how cooked it is. It could be cooked, very well done. You can still get worms from it. See what I'm saying? So you get these things when you die. That's why people, their brain, their mental capacity is messed up because they got these worms eating at their, neurons and things like that. Now it causes you to think, you're thinking not up there and things like that. Keep going.
Verse number 9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters.
Right. So in the waters, y'all like seafood? No? Yes? What y'all like to eat? For those of you that do like it. Okay. We got shrimp. You said what? Shrimp and fish. Okay. Y'all like crab? Lobster? Okay. Not too bad. Not too bad. Now we're going to read about what you can and cannot eat in the water, all right?
These shall you eat that are, where am I? Verse number 9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever have fins and scales.
So keep that in mind. Just how the land animal had to have 2 requirements. It got to divide the hoof and digest its food or chew the cud, right? The sea animals, they got to have fins and scales, all right? Keep that in mind. Fins and scales for the sea animals. That's what makes them clean, all right? So can you eat catfish? Why? It has fins, but it ain't got scales. You got to have both of them, remember? So catfish, that's why, you got to be careful of what you look at. Because from a distance, you might think, okay, it got fins and scales, but catfish, they ain't got no scales, right? Let's say certain species of tuna, I think, don't got scales. So you just got to be careful, right? Pufferfish, you can't eat no pufferfish. And make sure it's all the way cooked. You got people, they like sushi. I can't eat sushi, right? Because it's raw meat. You don't want to eat raw meat, right? So that's another commandment. We got to eat it. It can't have blood in it, right? That's why you got her. She eats medium rare, right? You're supposed to make it well done. You can't eat blood. See what I'm saying? So that's another commandment, right? So we keep going on that. I ain't mean to cut in.
Oh, you good? It fins and scales in the waters, in the seas and in the rivers, them shall ye eat.
So any body of water, as long as it got fins and scales, all right? So I'm going to play a little game before y'all leave. This is the last thing I'm going to say, right? Can I eat pork? Why? Because it's dirty? Okay. Do it meet both the requirements? Oh. All right. Can I eat a lobster? Why? Okay. Oh, you said it too? All right, what about a shark? Why not? Okay, it ain't got scales. Okay. I'm trying to trip them up, but they kind of got it down. Nah. Can I eat a goldfish? Y'all never had a goldfish before? Yeah, they got scales. Yeah, they got fins and scales. You could eat a goldfish. I mean, it ain't gonna do nothing for you. It ain't, you're not gonna be full off that, but you could cook up your goldfish.
You've been trained that it's a pet. But
Yeah. I mean, you could eat that. You could eat that. Can I eat an oyster? No. They don't eat none of the reason why we're not supposed to eat the fish Because I told y'all why we can't eat the pork. You know, they basically they clean up the land. They like the vacuum cleaners of the land. They eat up all the filth of the land, right? But the reason why we can't eat certain types of fish is because a lot of them, they're bottom feeders, which is like, for example, you got snails, right? Sea snails, crabs, oysters. The reason why you go to the beach and the water is brown is because a lot of the stuff when a fish and whales and things, when they poop and pee in the water, you know, and they stain the water brown, right? There's nothing to, you know, eat that up, you know, and clean the bottom of the sea floor. That's why the water is not blue no more. It's brown and black, right? So the point of the oysters, the crabs, the lobsters, the shrimp, is that they eat all that stuff at the bottom of the sea floor. But when you fish them out in big droves and feed them to us, and we buy that, not only is it damaging to our body, but also it's messing up the ocean too, because they ain't got nothing to clean the ocean. You see what I'm saying? So it works for both sides. The Most High, he's trying to make both sides work out to where the water is clean and also our body is pure. Does that make sense? All praises. So all y'all got the flyer, you know, definitely we got more videos on the YouTube. The Instagram is the same as the YouTube. If y'all got any questions, reach out, you know, and give me last one. Deuteronomy 6:6, right? This is also a commandment because we got to hold ourselves accountable, right? Or 6 and 7, Deuteronomy 6 and 7, right? So you got to hold yourself accountable for her. You got to tell her, look, we ain't eating pork today. No, right? You kind of got to tell her to stop eating that bacon. You got to tell her to put the pig feet down, right? Y'all got to hold yourselves accountable because that's the only way we going to, you know, get out of here. You feel me? Right? This is the last one.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6 and verse number 7. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children.
And I know y'all probably don't have children or things of that sort, but basically what it's saying is, the point is, you know, y'all got to teach them to each other. You know, Lord willing, y'all start reading for yourselves, because that's the whole point, is to, you know, read for yourself and things of that sort. But y'all start reading for yourselves, and you saying, look, I found this, you know, and you say, look, I found this too. And now y'all start keeping more commandments so we can get the hell up out of here, because we're tired of America. I'm gonna be honest, we're tired of being here. You know, this is the worst captivity we've ever been in. We're tired of seeing our people go through the hell. We're tired of seeing our parents struggle to make ends meet. We're tired of seeing, you know, our people just shot and killed for no reason. You know, so I'm sure as I'm tired of it, y'all are probably sick about hearing it in the news and won't want that to happen to y'all. Because, you know, our black women, that's the most leading statistic in the missing women. It's hundreds of thousands of missing black women. You see what I'm saying? So I don't want that to happen to y'all. You know, that's why the Lord said keep the commandments and live. Does that make sense? All praises. So y'all have a beautiful day, and definitely tap in with that flyer, you know. All praises. Y'all stay safe, all right? All praises. Hey, family, y'all got any questions so far? Hey, y'all want to check us out? Ah, that brother got the border of blue on, man. That's royal, man. You probably don't even know it. What time is it? 7:44. I did? All right, well, we going to close out. All praise to the Most High. Come check us out. Just come here for 1 minute. All praises. That's what I'm talking about. All praises. And we kind of matching. We both got a ribbon of blue on. We kind of matching in this thing, right? Basically, I'm going to make it fast because I know y'all probably got somewhere to be. I don't want to take up too much time. But we are here to tell our people that the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans were God's chosen people according to the Bible. Y'all believe in God? Y'all believe in the Bible? You can record. Yeah, you good. We recording too, right? So basically, we are here to tell our people, look, we God's chosen people. The Lord said we got to do something, right? So I'm going to get into it. I know I'm going to make it quick, right? Give me you're already there, 7 and 6.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse number 6.
Check this out.
For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Now, this was the Lord speaking to the Israelites, right? Now, when you read about the journey of Israel, just how you watch a reality TV show is the Bible follows one family, one group of people, right? Just like the equivalent of watching Real Housewives of Atlanta. It's following that one household, right? So he's saying to the nation of Israel, read that again.
For thou art an holy people.
The word holy just means to be set apart or cut off, not like everybody else. Our hair grows upward. Everybody else's hair grows downward. See what I'm saying? We just have certain, and that's just one example, but deep down, we do a lot of things differently. The way we cook, the way we talk, the way we dress, man. Hey, y'all dress, I kind of like the way y'all dress, man, right? That's because, you know, we do things on a different level, right? The Lord made us chosen to where we we're the progenitors of everything. Even from the things we invent. We made the car, right? We made stoplights. We made all these things out here, right? So the Lord said we're set apart. Keep going.
A holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Right.
The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people
He chose us to be a special people.
unto himself,
Right.
above all people,
They say what?
above all people
Say we above all people, right?
that are upon the face of the earth.
So everybody on the earth, every race, every every group of people, we're above all people because we have that connection to the Most High. He made us above all people. Can I get two more? I know I don't want to push all the, kind of make y'all, one more. Okay, perfect. Give me Deuteronomy 10 and 12. I'm gonna get the conclusion of why we called y'all up here. Yes, sir.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10 and verse number 12.
Bring it up.
And now Israel,
Now let's talk about us. And now Israel, the Hebrew Israelites, right? God's chosen people.
and now Israel, what doeth the Lord thy God require of thee?
Notice how he says, thy God. No, he's the God of Israel. What does he require of us? And it's going to answer it, right?
But to fear the Lord thy God,
Meaning he's capable of doing anything at any given time. Whether you winning the lottery or whether it's a death in the family, you got to understand that was the Lord that did that. A lot of times we blame, as the people, not y'all, but as the people, we blame things on, karma. We blame it on horoscopes. We got to understand the Lord is capable of doing all things, and he has done all things. So whether you get a new house or whether the people down the street, they got an eviction, it was all of the Most High, right? That's what it means to fear the Lord, knowing that, right?
but to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways,
Right.
and to love him,
Which is to keep the commandments when you go to 1 John 5 and 3.
and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul,
Right.
to keep the commandments of the Lord
Right.
and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good.
So it's for our good that we keep the commandments. So that's what we are here to tell our people, because we don't want to see any more of our people coming up missing and shot dead by the police. The reason that's happening to us because we failed to keep the commandments. The Lord said, keep my commandments and live. Once we fall away from keeping all the commandments, right, you got, everybody's heard of these people, at least three of them. Sandra Bland, you got Tamir Rice. She was, crazy what happened to her. Right, this little girl, she was very young. The police broke into her house and they shot her in the neck. You see what I'm saying? You got, y'all can take pictures of this stuff, right? But you got all of our brothers and sisters. She was mentally not all the way there, and the police, they killed her. See what I'm saying? We don't want to see this. Ahmaud Arbery, right? We don't want to see that happening to our people. So that's why the Lord said, keep my commandments, because the commandments was given to Israel, right? So we got to keep his commandments so that we don't have to see this happening to us again. So that we can live on, right? So does that make sense? Got a question? All praises. Y'all got a flyer? We got a flyer for y'all too. Just so y'all can, do your own research. Because I encourage, all of us to do our own research. We got the YouTube channel, the things that we kind of went over, briefly, and things of that sort. So y'all definitely check in. If y'all got any questions, we got the email on there too. But y'all enjoy your day, all right? All praise to the Most High. All praises. Shalom, y'all. All praises. You're welcome, sister. So with that, I'm going to close off giving all praise, honor, and glory. It's been a beautiful day at camp, man. Israel was edified, man. That's what it is. Planting the seed. Brothers and sisters came up, edifying. Brothers with many questions came up.
It's amazing how it looked like a ghost town at first, and then the Most High just brought.
They just come out of nowhere. It literally, it's been a ghost town when we got here. Now you got people coming up out the wazoo, man. So all praise to the Most High, right? Kwame Sharala and Shalom.